Hi everyone. This is my first time sharing anything I've made with you, and I am starting with a simple journal that I made for my grandmother. She just turned 82. I took some plain ribbon here that's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. I actually think this ribbon came from her, so it's going to be funny to send that back. And I got a little bit of it's like a golden color and then a purple color. My cover I left plain because I really like the yellow flowers, and I figured that she would too. And it was from a magazine, a picture that I've had for a long time. I collect a lot of magazine photos and stuff. I have a whole binder, one of those accordion files full of magazines. And I just trimmed around the edge with some lace. I screwed up with a little bit of purple in some spots, but the lace covers it up pretty well, so, you know, if it's not perfect, I don't really care. A little card that I wrote for her on a little piece of stationery. I had this pocket here came from a tea box from the Yogi Teas. Each one inside has some pretty neat designs. And I was testing out some watercolor I had bought to put over it, and I'm not too crazy about the way it came out, so I probably won't buy that brand of watercolor again. It came from a discount store someplace. I included a couple little stationery pages in it, and it has pretty pictures of birds. I have a whole notepad of this stuff, so it works out pretty well. See, that's the other side, the bird I put on that one. And I folded them up so that you could see the pretty little birds sticking out. Pretty much all of my printables were free. Some of them came from some scrapbooking paper packs. This one I tried to coffee dye. It didn't really come out, and it kind of some color ran on the front of it. I still think it looks okay, so I just used it in there. And this book has tabs, two different styles that I had for my Big Shot dies that I had bought. I have a doily punch that I used to make these doilies out of scrapbooking paper. And all my tags are homemade out of these pages from encyclopedias that are from like the 1940s. And I love the type. I love how small it is. And some of their descriptions of things were pretty cute too. All of my papers were either Kool-Aid dyed, food coloring dyed, or coffee dyed. And this here is a belly band that I put my own little tag in. And flowers that I had made before I had my die cutting machine, which is a lifesaver now that I have it, because these flowers took a long time to make. I have a bunch of index cards that I tried to get a little crazy with. You know, I had a stencil type material that I used for this, and I used some magazine pictures. A lot of the actual cards I had sprayed with my homemade alcohol inks, and I had put stencils in random places, and a lot of them came out really cute. All my alcohol inks I made using ideas from Holly. Thank you, Holly, for those wonderful mixture recipes to get different colors. Another tag I made. The back of it, I have this like homemade linen paper, which is really neat. It's thick, you know, it's thicker than a lot of cardstock even, so it makes really good tag material. My grandmother lives on the coast, so this picture here is a greeting card. It's very thin paper, but it has the ocean and a little sailboat over here, you know, and a place you call home, you know, maybe a little writing prompt if that's something that interests her. This piece here came from a bunch of ephemera I bought at a flea market, and the ephemera had come from a single person that spent a lot of time vacationing in Europe So I got all kinds of neat little ticket stubs and arts, you know, things from the arts and plays and restaurants. That's another part of that too, that was in that same. It's neat getting packs from one person because it's almost like you get to know who they are. Another tag here that I used one of my border punches on the bottom, playing with that a little bit, and it comes out kind of neat, but this paper, this encyclopedia paper, is really thin, so I almost don't want to do that again because it feels like it can rip really easily. A lot of this stuff here in the corners were stenciled and inks I used. Another card that came from a scrapbooking kit. Again, I ruined it with the coffee. This is one half of an invoice that I had gotten at a flea market. Some more little cards, another belly band here. Another tag I did, pretty flower. I made all these, I used some eyelash yarn on all of these paper clips. This is another doily from that punch. And this is a card, a journaling card I made out of another index card, and this is a picture from a magazine. I take all my magazine pictures because I don't like the gloss, and I spray them with a matte spray. I'll show you the one that I use, and I really like it. I apologize for the mess over here. I'm just trying to get some organizing done. This is a glossy one that I use. I do like it for some things. If you're going to use this on a cover, it works really good, but don't use it on anything that's going to close or have something sitting on top of it, because it does not work well with that. It's almost like a glossy Mod Podge where things stick to it really easily. I like Rust-Oleum products for their sprays. This is their matte enamel. And I use this. I'll spray one or two once in a blue moon if it's really glossy, like a magazine cover. I'll give it 3 or 4 coats, but for the most part, a single coat takes a lot of the shine out of magazine pictures. So it blends in a little better with the paper. Another little tag, another card I made here. I was screwing around with this leaf stamp that I had that I liked. Here is the rest of that statement. I have a whole bunch of these that I had gotten, again, at a flea market, and I also got a bunch of invoice style paper, which is much wider, and I coffee stain these, and they're the sets that have 2 copies. They have the white and the yellow. I can't remember what they're called. My graphic arts teacher is kicking me right now and cursing at me for not remembering that. Another little card I made. Again, that is a magazine image and then a little flower that I did. And all this little yarn is just little pieces that had come off of yarn that I kept and put on there. Another journaling card and a little belly band that I did. Some little things here. My printer's screwed up on a lot of them. I think I gotta buy a new print head for it. And a lot of my images got this pinkish hue, and some of them, like this one, with exceptions of the lines, which kind of bothered me. I just didn't want to waste the little card, so I figured it would work for this. The pinkish hue is okay, but it does get kind of annoying after a while. Here's another card I made with these little crocheted lace pieces that I had gotten. And I just wanted to find a place to use them up somewhere. This was a list here that also came from that European ephemera pack. I just stamped over it and took some things and stamped it mixed media style. This here was a really cute, I can't see if you could tell, that's like a really cute ribbon I bought. This page was ripped from when I dyed it, so I had just used double-sided tape and taped this little piece of ribbon to it. And this here is a stamp. This is a little envelope I made. I kind of ripped it up so it looked neat. And this came from, this is a little journaling spot here. This was some kind of stationery. It's kind of thin paper. And here's another card I made. And that's the last one. And here's the back of it with the little 3-layered thing here that I found on some videos I watched on YouTube. And that's the end of that. That's so this is the first journal that I'm sharing with you. A lot of what I do is altered book style things. So this is the first one I've actually made. The cover is a cereal box that I had left over. And the cereal boxes are really sturdy, so I really like how that came out. I think next I'm going to try doing an envelope style, or maybe a old book cover that I have put aside from all of those encyclopedia pages. I have the little encyclopedia book. The sides of this book, I just, so it fit an 8.5 by 11 folded, and it's just a single signature in there. So that's that. I hope you enjoy, and if you have any feedback or any tips or anything for me, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to say it. I'm a big girl. I can handle what you think. So I would like to thank you for looking at my journal, and have a nice night.